welcome to Ed Fluential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And last night, the Indy Ignite, who were 2-0 on the season, took on the Valkyries, the Orlando Valkyries, who were 3-0 on the season. So both teams undefeated. I did my power rankings for the MLV after 2 weeks, and I had Indy ahead of Orlando, despite them playing one less game. Indy was 2-0, and Orlando was 3-0 going to this game. And as you see in the title, one team remains unbeaten, which is Indy. So I'm going to run through the sets, and this even further shows kind of that matched up. Like I said, early in the season, I value the head-to-head matchups, and the Indy Ignite got the head-to-head win. It started with a great first set from the Indy Ignite, winning 25-18. And as Nice Javi, she had 13 assists for Indy, leading them and setting up her teammates really well. Still were able to win that first set by 7 points. Trinity Looper had a great start with 4 digs in the first set. Obviously wasn't enough, but she did have a really good start to the set and played well throughout the game, as Orlando was able to turn it around in the second set and win that set 25-23, led by Charity Looper, as she was everywhere on the court with 4 digs, 4 kills, and 3 blocks. Charity Looper was doing it all and led this team back to keep them into the game, and so they could avoid falling into a 2-0 hole, being down 2-0. While for Indy, Amani Bush, she had 5 kills, and all night Indy got great production from everybody. And then in set 3, it was Anthony Pappy again with 4 digs and 8 assists, leading Indy to a 2-point victory in this fourth set. In the third set, they had to go to extra points, which Indy ended up winning 27-25 in the fourth set. And then for Orlando, Perpin Garpod, she had 2 digs and 11 assists, setting up her teammates nicely, getting a few digs. So Indy was leading 2-1, and you was thinking maybe Orlando can win this fourth set, tie it, send it into a fourth set, because they had been in a couple of 5-set games already, but they weren't able to do that, as Indy was able to come away with the win in the fourth set and win the game. As Caleb, I don't know why I did that, as Caleb Lund had 5 digs and 3 kills for the Indy Ignite. Then Perpin Garpad, she had 2 digs and 6 assists for Orlando. And so all night, Indy got great production out of different people on their team through each set. Like, it changed each set, well, really for both teams. Like Orlando, they played well, and in the second and third set, they played great, but they lost the first and fourth set by 7. And Orlando is the reigning champions, but they fought 3-1 to suffer their first loss of the season. As the Indy Ignite, they improved to 3-0 on the season, and they beat the reigning champions. They continue now to prove why they're the number 1 team and they're the lone unbeaten team in the league. Like I said, I already had Indy over the Valkyries going into this, and then they get the head-to-head win, which makes it even more impressive. And what was so great about this win is that, like I said, Indy, they only went to 5 sets once, I think, after 3 games, while Orlando has been there twice already. And there's a few teams that might have played more games. And I know it's definitely a few teams that have played more than Indy. Might be a few that have played more than the Valkyries, but still, the Valkyries still look good. The Indy just seems like the top team right now. Obviously, the playoffs, obviously down the stretch of the season, things could change over the course of the season. But Indy, for now, is still the number 1 team. And really, it's hard to pinpoint who was the best player of the game for the Indy Ignite, because they got great production out of everybody. They, when I was thinking about who I want to win out for top performer, I can think of a singular person, because I want to shout out a few players. But for a team stat that was very important in this game, the Indy Ignite had 66 kills, as the Valkyries had 38 kills. So Indy finished with 28 more kills than the Valkyries did, which is what led them to this victory. And then for Indy, like I said, to pinpoint a few players, Imani Bush, he finished with 13 kills and 3 digs, along with a block. Mina Member, she had 7 digs, 5 kills in the game. Anas Happy, who I mentioned earlier, or Havley, she had 7 digs with 31 total assists. Lydia Martin didn't play much. It was Kayla Lund. She had 13 digs in this game, So everybody really played well for this team. Like they got great production out of everybody, like I said. And then for Orlando, it was that first and fourth set where it was like if those are a bit more closer, a bit more competitive, like you don't start slowing those because Indy actually started, no, Orlando started hot in that first set. Then Indy went on like a 14-4 run to close out the first set. So if Indy can pull off that type of comeback in one set, that just shows me that they can compete with anybody in the league that won every game they played so far. It could come to an end in their next game, who knows? But they did enough to get the win. They had to pull off a comeback in the first set. They had to go to extra points in the third set. And then in the fourth set, they really were in control from start to finish. So even though these sets were won differently and lost, they lost one set by 2 as well, but they were able to bounce back. Charity Looper finished for Orlando had 17 digs and 15 kills, along with 6 blocks, so she had a really good game. Um, her Herpung Gurpai, she had 38 assists. No, she had 32 assists and 8 digs. I was reading that 2 and 8 wrong. And you got 15 digs from Puska. So you got usually this will be enough to win them the game, but the Indy Ignite are not a joke, and they're looking to be that looking to stay in that top spot, which, like I said, as far as my power, which if you didn't see my power rankings, I'll leave that video at the end of this, so y'all can check that out and see my power rankings for the MLB after 2 weeks. But yeah, the Indy Ignite, they get the win in 4 sets, and they remain the lone unbeaten team in the MLB after just 2 weeks and a day, I think, like 2 weeks and 2 days, so not even 2.5 weeks in yet. But with that being said, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment what y'all thought, and share for others to see. The Indy Ignite 3-0 this season. The Orlando Valkyries fall to 3-1. Excited for more MLB action and more MLB content coming throughout the year.